And we're back with another episode of Nefashuu's Pokemon LeafGreen Wedlocke Challenge. Ah, yeah, we are back after my week-long Ultra Moon binge. Yeah, I haven't actually recorded in like over a week because of how these are scheduled, so I need to really remember what the heck I was actually doing. I also need to readjust from being Gen 7 back to the good old Gen 3 mechanics. So, my team, it's very weak to rock, I remember this now. Okay, so I also remember that we were going to do a bit of training this episode. We were going to essentially do some loose ends, because they are there to be done, and we have quite a lot of training to do before the next gym. So, I'm going to need to get that started, because we're then going to go down here, and I'm pretty sure I can actually catch this Snorlax, but I might have to save that for next time. We'll see how this goes. We'll see how this episode goes. So, I had actually planned, during this crazy trading session, of doing a lot of discussion on Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, what my thoughts were. So I suppose I should do that. Man, I have to remember, really, I have to get myself into this mindset. Like, I only beat the post-game of Ultra Moon, the post-game weird storyline thing they have going on. I only actually did that yesterday. It took me a lot longer than I anticipated to actually beat everything. But there we go. Okay, so we're going to be hopefully very over-leveled for this area, which will put me maybe in the right frame of mind for this. I need to remember that I can't use items. This is all so strange. Anyway, so I'm just going to spend this episode kind of talking about stuff. I'll try not to spoil anything Ultra Moon related, but just in case I do, this is fair warning. Let's fight this guy. Let's go, but don't cheat. Oh, never you fear about that. I'm a sterling Samaritan, youngster Eddie. So I'm going to have to try and talk about stuff not related to what's happening on screen. I find it really difficult. I found out I can talk a lot about any old nonsense, but when there's stuff on the screen happening at the same time, it's sometimes quite hard to multitask. Especially in a Nuzlocke challenge, where I can't use healing items in battle. I kind of have to focus as well as talk. But we're going to try and make this work. See, that Ekans was no problem. Wiggins got this. Take that, Eddie. Huh? That's so not right, man. I did my best. I have no regrets. Alright, you belong on Nugget Bridge, good sir. I think this guy... I know one of these guys has some Magnemite, and another one of these guys has Poliwag. I think this is Poliwag guy. So, maybe actually, if it's this Poliwag guy, Wiggin is probably not the best thing to use. Let's use Wells. Wells is fairly speedy. But we'll see. Hey, don't look away from me. Win, lose, or draw. No, drawing doesn't happen in this game. You either win or lose. Gamer Hugo. Oh, this is Poliwag guy for sure. Alright, we can do this. So, I've been playing Ultra Moon pretty much in all my spare time. I cancelled... Like, I ain't one of those weird people that I kind of timetable my life. So, when I get home from work, I usually do the same things each day. And I usually eat the same meals each day. I find that really helps you keep up a routine. And it makes it so that it's really, well, it's less difficult to relapse, per se. However, this past week, not only did I not do any recording, I also didn't do anything that I usually do. So I kind of just got home, played game, and continued. So that has been my life for this past week. So yeah. So I had a lot of fun playing the game. Now, it's a very interesting case, is Ultra Moon. Would I say it's a good game? Absolutely, it is a pretty good game. Would I recommend it? Definitely, I'd recommend it to anyone who hasn't played Pokemon before, for sure. Or even who's played previous generations. But would I recommend it to someone who's played Sun and Moon? I don't know. I don't know that I would, only because a lot of the content is very similar. It's essentially... actually, what am I supposed to use here? Let's use Pickering. So it's essentially a third version, but it's in two versions. You know how Pokemon Yellow, Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Emerald, Pokemon Platinum are things. It's kind of like that, where it's just an updated version of the game. And there are lots of cool updates. But it's kind of weird because it kind of negates Sun and Moon being things. Some of Sun and Moon is still unique to Sun and Moon. Like, some of the plot is, like, within Sun and Moon still. And unique to that. But for the most part, you might as well just, if you don't have Sun and Moon, you might as well just get Ultra Sun or Ultra Moon. Because it's just an updated version of the game, essentially. And I kind of miss sequels. Like in the 5th gen, everyone thought it was going to be Pokemon Grey, but then they brought out Pokemon Black 2 and White 2. And that, I think, is an amazing idea, because it doesn't negate the previous game, and yet it's still within the same region, so you don't have to change too much about the game. I feel like that's the best way of doing it. Whereas in this case, as I've said, why would you buy Sun and Moon unless you already own it, or if you're a Pokemon fanatic? Like, most people would ask that question, because why would you do it if there's an updated version of the game? I know Pokemon's probably never going to do DLC, which I think is good, but it seems like one of those cases where, maybe it could have done with DLC, or maybe they could have just like waited and released the full game as it is now. I don't know. Who knows how it actually went down. But anyway, it's still a fun game. I actually used only a team of 5, and it's very strange because I realised that the first game, like every time I've bought a game, the first team I've had in that game, ever since, I think, even like Sapphire version, I've always used on my main team Grass type, because it's my favourite type, and a Water type. But this time round, I did not use a Water type, and it wasn't like I intended to do that. I just kind of built my team up as it went along, and I just never found a Water type. And I guess the main reason I use Water types up to this point is because of the whole Surf thing. But you don't need Surf in 7th gen, so I just never got a Water type, and the game is quite different without that reliability. I guess I'm just used to it. Although, in this particular run-through, I do not have a Water type either, so, you know, can't always have them. Actually, that's a good point. How the heck am I going to Surf when it comes around to it with this team? I'll deal with that, Bridge. Why not get round to it? This guy can't get enough competition. Well, we'll show him what for. So yeah, I would recommend the games if you don't have them already. But if you already have Sun and Moon, I don't know. There are probably other games that you might want before you get that. And I suspect if you're a Pokemania, you probably already own the games, so, you know. Now, this leads into another thing I've always kind of wanted to talk about with regards to Pokemon. And that is, how far can Pokemon actually go as a franchise? At what point does it become too much to handle? Now, what do I mean by that? Well, how the franchise is set up, you have a series of games, and then in the next series of games, you need to add many, many things. So, with each generation of games, for example, well, in fact, first of all, let's take a comparison. So, have I fought this guy? I believe I have, yes. So yeah, let's take a comparison. So, take the Mario franchise, which is, in fact, the only franchise, the only gaming franchise that surpasses Pokemon at this point, which is pretty awesome for Pokemon. Pokemon is obviously doing something right. But if you take the Mario franchise, now, what do you need to make a successful Mario game? Well, that kind of varies, but every Mario game will have the same core points. It needs Mario, obviously, it's in the name of the game. Then you need to have Bowser in the game somewhere for Mario to defeat. And then almost always you'll need Princess Peach to be rescued. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all you need. Anything else in a Mario game can just be built around that, and that's what the focus can be on. It's really simplistic, and yet the Mario franchise, I don't really play much of their games, but from what I see, ooh, don't you roar me. from what I see, they make some really good games. I don't think there's a single bad main series Mario game anyway. And there are plenty of other franchises like that they don't rely on too much as their base. But now take Pokemon. Now, Pokemon, whereas with most gaming franchises, they're based around like a set core group of characters. They'll have a protagonist, an antagonist, and important side characters as well. But then with Pokemon, so their main draw is the Pokemon, obviously. And there are a lot of Pokemon. The human characters are different each time round. You get some that reappear in games, for sure, in later games, but like the main character, there's no real main character to Pokemon. It's just a kid each time. There's a different kid in each region you go to. You have to make new gym leaders. You have to make new evil teams and new motives for them, new personalities for all of these, new champions, new Elite Four members. So the entire cast is different every single time. And that's just the humans. Now, Pokemon, you just will keep adding Pokemon each generation, and that's why they're kind of slowing down, I imagine, because how long can you keep doing that? And again, but going back to other franchises, like with Mario as an example, you don't need to have played previous Mario games to really know everything about Mario. You can pick up at any point. That's the same with other games. Maybe to use a more RPG comparison base, you have Final Fantasy series of games. Now, those don't rely at all on you having played the previous ones. You can pick up one and you can play it and you don't really need to know what happened before. There are some recurring themes in the games, but other than that, there's nothing really. But with Pokemon, a lot of it's based around the interactions with other games. Isn't it insane to think about that you can trade Pokemon from games that came out in early 2000s to games that have come out in this year, 2017? What other series of games has there? And the thing is, with Pokemon, as it expands, it's very good at keeping things consistent and not removing things that have been part of the game in terms of the gameplay and mechanics, a lot of the actual battling. But all that means is that there'll be more added, and then more added, and then more added, and it will just keep going. If you want every Pokemon in like 2 decades time, the amount of trading you have to do, the amount of going back and owning of games is insane. And maybe that's the point, I guess, but at what point does it just become a lot? Especially now that since the 6th generation, it's kind of been established that each gen is going to have its own sort of gimmicky things, in the sense of, well, you had Mega Evolution in Generation 6, and then you have Z moves and Alolan forms in Generation 7. And in the case of Z moves, in the case of Mega Evolutions, they each have their own items. Are you telling me that as the games go on, there are going to be more items that will need to be transferred forward on a consistent basis? It's just going to be insane. How long can Pokemon keep that up? These are all interesting things that I like to think about. It's all a bit crazy to me. At what point does it stop? Anyway, we've kind of beaten this route. I'm quite surprised. I'm looking for Nidorina. Well, I have failed in many attempts to have a Nidorina. Hi, remember me? I'm one of Professor Oak's aides. Well, you're all kind of clones, so I'm just going to say yes and assume that I've seen you before. If your Pokedex is complete data on 30 species, I'm supposed to give you a reward. Professor Oak entrusted me with the item finder for you. Well, it's no Stoutland. I don't think that I have. 23? Oh man, that's not a good number, is it? What do we have to see? Big Pokemon's asleep on a road. Well then, we'll have to deal with that momentarily. To get to Lavender Town from Cerulean City, Rock Tunnel appears to be a good route to take. Wow, that's surprisingly advice-giving binoculars. I mean, I've already done the thing, so it's not actually that important. Are we actually here already? That's crazy. Anyway, I don't know if you guys think a lot about Pokemon as I do. At what point does it break? Will it just keep on expanding eternally? I know that, especially in 7th gen games, that there's a lot of, well, up until the end of 6th gen, the National Pokedex has just kind of been a thing. But then in the 7th gen, they don't have one. And maybe that's the way forward. Maybe they've realised that Game Freak and all those peeps down in the game development of Pokemon that they go, okay, well, we can't really keep doing this. We're gonna have to stop at some point. It's getting ridiculous. So yeah, maybe that's what happens from now on. Maybe this is the first generation of games where there aren't all the Pokemon, and you know, if you have them all, it's a bonus. That's the only way of really keeping up with if there are new fans. It's all very crazy to think about. Anyway, I think that's enough of me rambling about stuff. I quite like to make like a talk series about just my thoughts in general. I have some cool ideas for Pokemon talk videos, but I don't really have the patience to make those just yet. Maybe later down the line. But anyway, we're going to end off this episode, because I don't think there's anything else to do. Oh, actually, there is one thing to do before we face these guys. No, you know what? We'll face these guys whilst they're here. Now, these guys are actually pretty dangerous, so I hope that we do okay. I'm pretty sure they have a Ninetales and a Rapidash. And that's pretty scary to think about, but I think we got this. I think, Chester, you can dig, and Wigan, you have Water Pulse and all that stuff. You're definitely the best Pokemon for the jobs, so let's see how this goes. Hello. Our love knows no bounds. We're in love and we'll show it. You say that by not allowing your lady friend here to even speak. And your hair changed colour magically. Okay, what level are these guys at? Ugh, that's a high level. Okay. Well, we can't even switch these guys out, so my question is, who do we attack first? Rapidash probably hits harder. However, I reckon Ninetales has Confuse Ray, and that's more likely to be annoying, so this is what we do. Oh yeah, Chester moves first, that's what I like to see. Right, what are these guys going to do? Tail Whip, that's not great, depending on what moves they have. Aha! Oh, Safeguard, that's not a problem. Yeah, well, I don't think you can get confused in that case, but I'll live with that. Okay. Well, I guess we Water Pulse. Oh, don't quick attack me. Oh, the crit. That's not good. Boom. Oh, it's alive. Okay, Wigan. I'm going to need you to be beefy here. But that Ninetales is down, at least. Whew. Okay. Wigan, I'm going to need you to take these hits from Rapidash, whatever it has coming. So let's Water Pulse. I guess we'll continue on that train of thought. Hopefully this Rapidash is a moron and attacks Chester. Oh, Wigan. Oh gosh, this is way too close. Okay, Chester, I'm going to need you to knock this thing out right now. Come on, Wigan. Okay, Fire Spin. It's a moron. Hooray. That was too close. One more stomp might have actually done it for Wigan. But in the end, Wigan, the unnecessary crits. Oh, I remember those. We're back. We're back in business. Whew. Oh no, my love has seen me as a loser. Must be the hair. Listen, Leia, you need to focus less on me. Wow, so full of yourself. I'm sorry, Jed is so cool. I'll leave those guys to it. I don't know what condition they're using to do that to their hair, but there we go. Oh yeah, there was one thing. I said I was going to do a thing, so we'll do the thing. It's not a very important thing, but I totally missed a TM here, so we're going to get it. Because I can, and otherwise I'll forget. And I don't even think I can use it on anything, but we're going to get it anyway. And I don't even remember what this TM is. It's either Dream Eater or Nightmare. I think it's Nightmare. We will see. Oh, I must have dozed off in the sun. I have no idea how I got here. I don't know how I'm supposed to get home. You kind of saved my life. I had this weird dream about a drowsy eating my dream. Blah. And I learned how to eat dreams. Oh, the irony. Let me teach it to a Pokemon. Oh, it's a move tutor. Oh, I thought it was a TM. Well, Wigan can learn that. Well, I got rid of Sing, so never mind. Right, we're going to heal, because that was close. And I guess, should we take on Snorlax this episode? I feel like we have the time to do that. Should we do that? I don't know how long I've been recording for. I feel like I want to do that, because I don't think we actually spent that much time on this game. So, I guess we'll try. Now, I could go down this route and do it that way, but I'd rather just try and get the Snorlax in here. Do I have any Great Balls? That is the burning question. Because those would be quite useful right about now. I have 12 Great Balls. I'm going to hope that's enough. Now, this thing could be dangerous. I don't remember what it knows. I think it knows Headbutt, maybe? It probably knows Rest, as well as Snore, maybe? And I'm worried that it might know Rollout. So, what's the best thing to do against a Snorlax, I wonder? I did have a think about this like a week ago, and I've forgotten entirely what I was going to do. But I think that Spennymoor and Gosport are the best to use. And the reason for that is, if it does know Rollout, Spennymoor can just fly, and then Rollout will do very little. I think I was going to use Leer on the first turn as well, because I don't think Snorlax's defense is that high, and Leer will mean that we should be able to do a good amount of damage. So that might be worth it. And if worse comes to worse, I can just run. So maybe let's do that. Because I will get another chance to get Snorlax. I feel like that's fine. I feel like running is not a problem. I'm fast enough that it should be okay. Anyway, we'll see. This could be a huge mistake. But we have to fight this Snorlax one way or the other, so we may as well do it now. Here goes. Route 12. Snorlax time. Let's wake it up so that we can put it back to sleep again. Actually, we can't do that, but I don't know why. It seems like we could just catch this thing. I don't know why no one else thought of this. Okay, Snorlax, what do you got? I hope I'm at a suitable level. It's level 30 though. Alright, Spennymoor, I'm going to need you to use Leer right now. And let's see what this thing does. Okay, it has Headbutt. How much will it do? That was way too much. Would you survive another hit? That is the question. Or is it worth switching? What is your defense in comparison to Gosport? Gosport's is better. Don't really know what to do here, I won't lie. I could fly. See how much that does. How much did it do? It did 36 damage. So you can take another hit unless it's a crit. Well, we're gonna try. See how much this does. Get you Snore. It is a moron. Pokemon tend to be morons in this game. That was good. Okay, we can actually do this again. Let's fly, Spennymoor. Let's have to hope it doesn't know Rollout. Okay, why is it doing this? Here's the question. Do I throw a ball or do I switch? Or alternatively, I could knock this thing out this turn. And then try to get Snorlax later when I feel like I'm at a more suitable level. I'm gonna fly. Because this thing might use Rest. Okay, no, it's gone. Okay, it's fine. I would rather knock this thing out and get the next Snorlax when I'm at a better level for it. Oh, man. Return to the mountains. What mountains? Oh, dear. Okay, well, Spennymoor, you pretty much just soloed a Snorlax. That's pretty cool. I guess we're set up next time for heading down this route. It's a long, arduous route with many, many grass Pokemon, I think. And certainly less exploding Pokemon and fighting Pokemon that can punch your face. If I go down Cycling Road, that is what will happen. Anyway, I feel like that was a good episode. I just need to get back in the groove. I feel like I'm back in the groove now. So we're going to return to our usual schedule. Anyway, until next time, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Toodles.